Hey everybody, Claudia from the Wee Garden Homestead here. I have a project today that's sewing, but it's not really making a quilt, although some quilting techniques are going to be involved. So I have this pair of jeans that I got at Goodwill for, I want to say like $3.50. I think they were half off that day. So they fit me pretty well. The problem is, and it's twofold. A, they're a little bit short. I like my pants really long. I have very long legs, and I always grew up with pants that were a little bit too short. Unless I bought tall sizes. And, you know, back when I was a kid, the tall sizes didn't come until some of the larger sizes. So here I was, this skinny, scrawny little kid with very long legs. My pants were always too short. My mom used to buy them in men's store because men's you can get by waist and length. That was when I was in high school. So, yeah. And then the other thing is they're straight legs, and they're not skinny jeans, but they're straight legs. So the bottoms are a little bit too narrow for me because I could just let the hem down and they might be long enough, but the bottoms are too narrow for me. I like to wear boot cuts or bells. So these are going to become a pair of bells. These are going to be a pair of bell bottoms. Like I said, they fit me pretty well. So I'm on the fence about whether to just make the bell be up to the knees or whether to take it all the way up to the waist and put patchwork in all the way down and then come out wider. I'm still working on that. I'm not sure. But either way, I'm doing something. Now, I've done bell bottoms before. I've done quite a few pairs of bell bottoms. I've probably been doing them for about 5 years. I have several pairs that I've done for me. I have a couple pairs that I've sold. I have a couple pairs that I've done for my granddaughter. One of my daughters has a pair. Jocelyn had a pair. She outgrew those, but she did have a pair. So this is not something new to me, but it's something new for me to be posting on my YouTube. So without further ado, I'm going to take you in the other room to the cutting table and show you what I'm going to be working with to make the insert for the bells on these. And I will show you step by step how I do these. So thanks so much for joining me. I'm hoping I can get these done today so that I can post this video for tomorrow. Either way, you're going to see a video tomorrow. They may or may not be finished in this video, but you're going to see my progress today. Today is Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. I want this up for a Friday video. So we're going to see what I can get done today. Thanks so much for joining me. When you get to the end, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, leave me a message, leave me a comment, give me a hype, whatever those things are called. Don't forget all those fun things. Let's go in the other room and get started here. Okay, so here we are. These are the fabrics that I pulled out to do this with. And I'm thinking I'm going to do 2.5-inch squares. So I've got these strips that I pulled out from my 2.5-inch strip pile. Most of these are from the scrap boxes that were a gift from Barbara. I'm not sure about that one. I know these two were not. These were from Mom, but I'm pretty sure everything else came from Barbara. I'm just not sure about that one. I'm not sure about this one either. I think these two might have been in my, I don't know. I'm not sure about that one. This one I think was in my bunch from the quilt show last year. But anyway, I'd like to use all of these. And as I'm looking at them, I'm thinking these cherries are going to be too big. So I'm just going to take those right out of there. But the rest of these, I'm on the fence, 2-inch squares, or should I do a little star in the middle and then two-inch squares around? I think I'm going to do a star in the middle. That would give me 8 inches. And then I'll have to do some measure and see how big the flare would be. Usually I just rip straight up the side and then put the bell insert right in there. But usually I work with skinnier jeans, and I don't want these to be super wide bells. So I'm going to do some math. I may just cut back on this a little bit and then put the 8 inches in. I'm going to do some math on that, and I'll let you know what I figure out. And I'll also decide, I'll try them on again, and I'll also decide if I'm going to go straight up. In the meantime, I'm going to make the piece that's going to be the insert. I'm going to use this for the center. I'm going to use that for the background, and I'm going to use this for the points. So they'll kind of look like this. Probably looking at the back of my head right now, but yeah. Okay, so the first thing I need, this is going to be the center, and I'm actually going to do 3 stars because I have a bunch of denim shirts that I think I might want to add to. So the first thing I need to do, the first thing I need is 4.5 inch. Put this back flat. 4.5 inch, 4.5 inch squares for the center. Oh, and you guys have seen me do these squares before in other videos. I think the blue and white one, I did the squares pretty much in their entirety for you to watch, but just in case. So I need 4.5 inch squares. Ooh, sorry. And I'm going to need 3 of them because I am going to do one for my denim jacket. Cut this one. Oh, I hope I have enough of these. For each one, I need 8 2.5 by 2.5. So I will definitely have enough for the pants, but I won't have enough for the... Let's lay these both out. Or, oh, I'm not going to have enough. Okay. 8. It's 1 star. We're going to add those strawberries in. I knew I wanted the strawberries in anyway, so. All right, now I've got enough of those. Then I need 4.5 by 2.5. I need 4 for each one. Look how crooked I cut that one. So 2.5. Let's use a different one. These were literally scraps. Oh, they're all cut that way. All right. Is not enough. 4.5. 2. One. Oh, yeah. 0. Let me go find another piece. Okay, well, I wish I would have thought of this sooner. I had a 2.5-inch strip in my 2.5-inch strip bin. That makes that a whole lot easier, doesn't it? There we go. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is go put these together. They go like this. I'm not sure I'm going to get a third one out of it, but they're going to go like this. So it's going to go in the middle. It's going to go here. Go. Like that. And like that. On opposite sides of each other. Like this. Like that. And then I'm going to do the flower and the flower. And then this is going to be strawberries and this is going to be flowers. And then these guys are going to go in the corners. Okay, so we're at the sewing machine. I have white thread in here. I'm going to get a starter in here. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is snowball these, and I am going to chain piece these. I did not draw on the diagonal, and I'll tell you why, because I have the 1/4-inch seam tape. So I'm just going to use that. Start here in the middle. Never start from the corner. Always start from, if you can, a middle. If you don't have a middle, then having the starter piece before is a big help. I'm just going to stitch right across there, keeping it straight. Make sure I got the right side. Sometimes I grab the wrong side with these white on whites. Okay, just got to press these and I'll be right back. Alrighty, now the other side. Okay, I am going to go feed the big dog because she just came in and told me she's ready for breakfast. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The little dogs, as little as they are, eat before me in the morning. They have breakfast first thing. She won't eat first thing in the morning. She comes in, she tells me when she's hungry, and I feed her then. So I'm going to go make her breakfast, her brunch, and I'll trim these and I'll press them and we'll be back to finish putting them together. I'll be back. Okay, these are, the dog is fed. These are trimmed, pressed, trimmed again. They're a little wonky, not a big deal. So now it's time to put them together. And I could probably do one with the flowers and one with the strawberries, but I'm going to mix them together. So they're going to go like this. I don't know if you can see that. I'll turn this for you in just a second. And these go in the corners. Like that. Let me make sure you can see that. Okay, so like that. I'm just going to chain piece them. I'm going to sew this to this, this to this, this to this. I'm going to do the other one at the same time, and then I'm going to come back and sew this to this, and this to this, and this to this, and then they go together. So that's what I am working on now. I'm just going to chain piece these real quick too. Okay, I'm going to cut these apart, press them. Okay, we're back. And I did give these a quick trim. I tried to give these a trim, but really the funkiness was cut a little short. So I wound up not giving these a trim on the side that's going to be sewn on here. So all that's left is to put these together. Now I did press these to the outside. And I pressed these pieces to the middle. So these should nest right up, nice and neat. Okay. I'm going to press these. Okay, my squares are done. And the rest is just going to be a bunch of, get that out of the way, a bunch of 2.5 inch squares. I might lose part of these stars in the mix, and that's okay. So I'm just going to make a bunch of 2.5 inch strips of 2.5 inch squares, and I'm going to do a row here and a row here, just because if I do go a little bit wider here, I want them to fit in. And then once I get up here, I'm probably just going to do a couple of rows the same width. This needs to be about, I'll do a row down here too. This needs to be about 24 inches to go to my knee. So I'm going to work on that. I'm just going to make a bunch of, I'm going to take the strips that I have and put those together to make some 2.5-inch strip sets, however they go together. Yeah, and then actually I might do this one instead because I can get 2 out of that one. Just however they go together, I'm going to cut some strips out of these other ones over here, and then I'm going to just put them in however they work out. I think I'm going to do them in 2s because then I can put them together however I need them. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. We'll see how it works. Okay, so I have all of these sewn in strips and pressed, and I'm going to go back and cut them at 2.5 inches. So I have pairs of 2.5-inch squares. Then I'm going to rip the seam on my jeans and see, before I start sewing anything, and see where I need to be to get as much of this in as possible. I might lose quite a bit of the jeans, and I do want to add some length on too. So I'm going to have to rip these, rip them open, pull the bottom hem out, and see where I'm at. But the next thing I'm going to do actually is to cut these. I don't think I need to do it on camera. I can do one real quick so you can see. This is a short one. I'm only going to get one out of it anyway. And I'll actually probably do these on my smaller scrap. Like that. And then I will lay them out and decide how I'm going to make them go together. Probably, again, I've got to lay it out and see where my triangle is going to go. So that's what I'm going to work on next. I'm going to go ahead and cut these. I'm going to take a break for lunch. I know I fed Ari about an hour ago. Yeah, it's almost 2:30. I'm going to take a break for lunch, and I may leave off here. I may come back. I'll see how I feel in a little while.